Hello, everyone. I am simply hoping and praying that this audio input is working. So if you can't hear us, please say something in the chat so I can see it. Otherwise, hello. Welcome to the very first episode of Crimson Harvest. Crimson Harvest is going to be a dual system actual play. We're going to have half of our players on Team Hunters playing in the Brinkwood Blood of Tyrants system. I have the actual book, which is a rarity for me, but me buying this physically is the whole reason I wrote this campaign. And we'll have another team of 4 more players who will be vampires who are playing in a little bit of a hacked version of Urban Shadows. I'm very excited to be here. This campaign is kind of my baby. And I am super excited to be here with all of these amazing players. And I think that before we do anything, they should introduce themselves to you. CJ, let's start with you because you're in my top corner.
Hi everyone, I'm CJ. Today I will be playing Assurance, the sweetest one in the party. My pronouns are they, them, Assurance's pronouns are whatever they want them to be at that given moment. It's a classic dragon on the internet. It's classic like the book fair, dragon like the mythical creature. Find me wherever you want to hear me yelling about sports anime. Am I passing it to someone or?
You know what? Sure, you can pass it to someone.
I'm
Sports
gonna
anime
pass it.
representation.
Let's go. Yeah, haiku. I'm gonna give it to Alyssa.
Hi, y'all. I'm Alyssa, pronouns they, them. You can find me on Twitter or Hive, I guess, theoretically, at a disaster queer. And tonight I'm playing Chalice, who uses she, her pronouns. And I will pass it to Dare.
Hi, I'm Dare, pronouns she, they, they. Tonight I'm playing the saddest cowgirl ever, Henry, pronouns she, they. And yeah, you can find me on any part of the internet at Dare to Dream RPG. That is DARE, the number 2, DREAM, RPG. And I'm going to throw it over to Ian.
Hi, everybody. My name is Ian. My pronouns are he, they. I will be playing Sera, the toy maker turned trap master of the group. They're just a hard-working person trying their best. And then their pronouns are they, them. You can find me on Twitter at Ian, which is my first name, _ caliente, which is the Spanish word for hot. And that's how you can find me. And on there, I will like Digimon and Animorphs a normal amount, which seems to be the running theme. Liking things a normal amount here in this cast. But yeah, you can find me doing that stuff. And in other shows along the internet. I'm sure they'll come up at some point.
And hi, my name is Max. I use he, they pronouns. I play everyone else on this show, who are a variety of people who use a variety of pronouns. It'll be a good time. I am Arcane Goth on the internet, at least wherever I want you to find me. And I like vampires a normal amount, as I was saying before we started, because that's why I wrote a whole hyper-elaborate campaign about them. And with that, I believe we can get started. I'm totally not dreading that installing. So let's get to it. And I want to set the scene for everybody of what the Brinkwood is and where we are in Cardenfell. So Cardenfell is the kind of place where parents don't have to tell stories to their children to keep them behaving. The children will behave because the nightmare is kind of what they live. And it isn't often, it isn't all the time, but the things that happen in Cardenfell turn it from a normal kind of pseudo-pastoral, normal village setting to something a little bit more sinister and harder to exist in a true state of peace. So you have, your standard different cities, your growing industry, different kinds of mining and lumber and production, There are rivers and hills and forests, but among all of these villages and all of these people, you have this court of vampires. You have the Crimson Crown, that with the power that they are able to elect from blood and silver, blood silver, in this game very eloquently, have powers that allow them to exert very serious power over the mortal people of this world, and everyone else has little to no choice but to live within it. Although there are some people who are fighting back. However, people who are fighting back can't fight back all the time. Sometimes they gotta have a day off. And today we will be starting on at least what begins as one of those days off. So I take you all to the city of Drancaster. Drancaster it was the first major city established in Cardenfell. Has a very large network of marketplaces, banks. It's a hub of activity and commerce. It is the most wealthy city in the Bloody Isles in both like community and population, but also in money, and the kind of the capitalism of it all is ever present there. And there is where the hunters that I have among me here reside at the moment, and they find themselves coming to a not quite a mansion, but it is quite a large piece of property. In fact, this is an estate sale. So today you are all planning to attend the estate sale of Wilhelm Valenwood. Wilhelm Valenwood was a very well-known blacksmith in this town of Drancaster. He was the son to a blacksmith as well, in a sort of generational trade, and his father the son to a blacksmith to his father before him. He recently passed, and he made it to a pretty old age for a place as bleak as this, in his early 70s. And now with no, current heirs that are around town, they are opening up his house for an estate sale. As you are all attending, I would love for you guys to tell me if there's anything you're bringing or preparations you are making beforehand. Okay, so
I was thinking, sorry.
That's okay.
I think in terms of preparations, I am just wearing like a single piece of leather armor, and I think I just have a pistol just like underneath my coat in a little holster, just in case anything happens. I'm just ready.
Okay.
Someone needs to be.
So Henrietta is pulling up, strapped up with the gun. Is anyone else planning to attend armed?
Armed is such a hard question. Sorry, did anyone? Yes, Sera, were you gonna say something?
Oh, I was thinking Sarah's probably always packing, not heat per se, but tools of the trade. So like their leather armor is kind of like fashioned into an apron sort of smock situation, and they have a big tool belt with lots of little odds and ends, and they have a big list because apparently Sera is currently looking for like collector toys, but that are probably also cursed, which blacksmiths, they make some money. They might have some cursed collector's toys here.
sometimes you
They
buy
make
a
for-
collector's toy and you don't know that it's cursed.
Yeah,
Uh,
like it's a gamble really, but like Sarah's looking to see if like any of these like have the ghost of a spooky child inside. But otherwise they're still collectible toys, which Sarah would be interested in.
Alright.
But they just have a leather armor and a knife kind of tucked in a boot.
What about Chalice? Are you coming looking for anything or bringing anything specific?
I mean, it seems foolish to come without at least a knife, so I think they have a knife tucked away in a sleeve somewhere, and also a burglary kit. Because we're going to an estate, and who knows what things that are interesting are not for sale.
Oh. Right. And CJ, did you go for assurance for this? I do not think
Yes, good old Assurance. I mean, Assurance is looking as peachy as ever in a bright dress, with a corset kind of just laced up, holding the hands of Chalice and Sera, and looking strapped. No, of course not. Assurance would never. But in every conceivable part, in every hidden inventory, there is knives, daggers, collapsible swords, a little bit of holy water, just whatever you, and a book, and her favorite book, her book of poems that she writes about all of her loves, and she's just writing one about Henry right now.
And what, pray tell, might be in this poem? Now that you've set yourself up so kindly for me to ask that question.
Oh, Henry, like moss on a rock, warm, beautiful, kind, and most of all, damp, a beauty. It's in progress, and I think he reads that. He's like, Henry, I have a poem for you, and then reads that to Henry.
I appreciate the sentiment.
Taking a like a handkerchief out of their chest, kind of tabs her brow. You're sweating, just my damp little moss.
I'm fine, and I politely put a hand up. Just used to this, but also just tired of it.
Yeah, you kind of do that, and you hear the shaking of like bullets in Assurance's
God.
If I
arm
wrote someone a
sleeve.
poem and they reacted that way after I found the courage to read it to them, I would like disintegrate like a Thanos snap, like on the spot. That would
Sarah's
absolutely
like-
be the end for me.
Sarah's just like they're just stifling very obvious laughter. Like they were not won over by Assurance's poetry
No.
at all.
Never.
But they find it to be very amusing that this, she still tries.
Still tries.
Chalice is not stifling her laughter.
Just kind of stops the dabbing, lets you pat the arm.
Okay.
One day.
How tall is Assurance? I need to know.
That is such an interesting question because I didn't think of it. I think Assurance is a nice, even 6 feet tall. Exactly.
It's way taller than I was expecting. I'm still taller. I'm 6'5", but
Oh, it's okay.
I think
Sarah's 5'2".
Chalice is 5 foot even.
oh
Oh,
my
there you go.
gosh. I think the being called damp is even funnier because Henry is like partially draconic. Like she has like thin scales running up her arms and like along her head and face. So she just kind of looks at you and more confused at the accusation now, realizing that you just kind of put words together, or at least that's what it feels like.
I don't putting words together. I simply, and I think Assurance kind of looks at you, kind of like studying you, reading you as you say, like as you, the person, say that. Words are simply manifestations of our heart, are they not, Henry?
I guess they can be, but I just prefer to speak with what I do.
I love your straightforwardness.
Thank you.
Chalice turns to Sera and sort of stage whispers, "Was that poem reused?" Because I believe that both Chalice and Sera are deep folk for whom it might make more sense to be describing them as damp.
Yeah, Sarah's got like some scales on the face and like around in the head. They have that like the little merfolk ears sort of thing, and they just go, "No, I think my poem had something to do with being compared to like a rock that's been sanded down like by the river." Which I did say was very smooth, not as a compliment, but as a descriptor for the rock in which I was compared to. Um, so no, maybe it was one of yours though. I do feel like sometimes, we pass a lot of mossy rocks.
I mean, I rather like my edges, but
Right? I like my edges.
Oops. Assurance kind of catches wind of this and it's like, oh look, the where we're going, and starts skipping away.
So, as you approach the gates of the Valenwood kind of family property, you see a rather large house. It is guarded by gates likely constructed by one of the members of the Valenwood family in some kind of past generations. It has kind of like very nice, like sprawling handcrafted curls in the gates, and you follow a cobblestone path inside that leads you to a very large brick house. You can see that it kind of has like the main entryway, and there are a few people talking outside before going in. Some people smoking. There's kind of two wings of the house that go off to the sides. One of them has a kind of like spire, like tower thing going on that goes like an extra like 2 or 3 floors up on one side. And there's also an additional smaller building. I was going to say the size of my shed, but none of you guys have ever been to my house, so that's not really a good frame of reference either. Kind of about the size of like a standard like 1 or 2 rooms, a very small building that serves as a workshop that it looks like it currently isn't open to be observed for the buying of things yet because they are blacksmiths. Perhaps that is being saved for a main event kind of sale. But the main house is open, and some people, like I said, are chatting or smoking outside, and some people are heading in immediately to get a hold on what's going on. And as you guys kind of see these people, you see one particular figure that you happen to recognize from Drancaster, and that is Hickory Embleton. A lot of people will just call him the Smoker, because he is always smoking, but not necessarily in the way that you expect. He used to be a vampire, because vampirism is something that you can lose if you stop consuming blood silver in the Brinkwood universe. So he kind of has like this imminent smoke that kind of seems to come off of him. Occasionally he has a deep laugh of someone who's had a lot of strain on his vocal cords over the years, and he's kind of known to be a bit of a, I can't really say a lone wolf about an ex-vampire, but known to be very, very solitary, not a lot of solid information about him in his current state, and he's, a nice enough guy. He does some smuggling that people know about. If you don't screw with him, he usually won't screw with you, but he definitely is unsettling, and there are many rumors about him that float around town, over the last couple of years that y'all have lived here collectively. So that is the main person of interest you see outside the house before you enter, that you recognize. Also, if you guys want to just go in, you can just go in. That's fine.
What was his name again?
His name was Hickory Embleton.
Hickory. I think Assurance begins, like, takes in this little poetry book that they have, just kind of writing down that name. Hickory.
What kind of rock is he?
Hummus.
Hummus?
Hummus.
Makes sense.
And just kind of, like, takes out a little handkerchief. Oh, Hickory, hello!
Alright, now tell me, have the two of you ever worked together before, or have any significant relationship in the past that you greeting him by first name and waving a handkerchief would be socially appropriate?
The correct answer is yes. The funny answer is no. So I'm going to go with the funny answer. Absolutely not.
Hello? He looks a little bit confused, not necessarily opposed, but definitely skeptical as you are approaching.
Yeah, Assurance, who is, and I didn't describe it, a beast folk, specifically like a ram, kind of like adjusts their arm because of the shaking bullets last time so that none come out, skips over and goes, hi, hello, places a hand out. Actually, no, places a flower out. Flower?
Yes, it is.
Would you like one?
Why don't you roll consort or sway, depending. That can be your pick between the two. I'll first roll.
CJ still doesn't remember how to play the game, so I'm assuming I take these dice that are in my hand.
Okay, so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have all of your character sheets up.
You're so valid.
I actually was prepared.
I have a one.
Okay, yeah. So you have one dot in consort, so I would choose that. Just roll that.
Yes.
Yeah, roll that d6 and tell me what you get.
Wonderful. Give me a 6, please. I got a 5.
Alright, that's pretty
On the
good.
dice. I don't know what any of this means, and that's okay. One day I will.
I think the surprise, it's like the skepticism cannot logically extend in his brain to such a simple gesture. And he kind of looks you over, some vague recognition from kind of just around town, kind of figures out who you are and nods and takes it, and he kind of just mumbles a thank you, very very low, and is there something I can help you with?
No, just appreciating giving a flower to a flower, appreciating beauty and all that. What brings you out here today?
I'm just curious, take a look around. It's not often something like this opens up to the public.
Great. I mean, I'm here searching for beautiful trinkets for my loves. So, I just love to see what everyone else is doing.
I see that. Well, I'm sure you'll find plenty of trinkets in there. Wilhelm was quite a hoarder, to my understanding.
Oh, thank you. Your vote of confidence will give me strength to move on today. This will be great. Well, I hope you enjoyed that flower. I'm going to go on my way. And continues to just skip off, probably way too far ahead of the people that he's supposed to be with.
As you kind of like are passing, you can see he has like a small ledger book, like a real tiny thing, that like it's physically small, but it's definitely been written in and used a ton. Like the pages kind of like bulge in the way of like a very old journal. And he kind of like presses the flower inside when you go, because he can't be seen wearing a flower, but it would be rude to toss it.
We're winning, besties. Be nice to everyone.
So then, if you're skipping ahead, are you skipping inside the building?
I will skip to outside of the building and then do just continue to skip ambiently on my feet.
Ambient skipping.
Ambient skipping.
New band name just dropped. Okay.
It's your fighting game idle pose.
That's what I was thinking. I was just thinking
Yeah.
like a Princess Peach idol.
Yeah, for sure.
When people accept assurances gifts, they can do the thing that Princess Peach does when you win a mini game in Mario Party, like with the little spin.
Yeah.
And the sky punch.
Little sparkle comes out.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the bullets, actually. It's catching the sunlight.
I think as I make my way past Hickory, I think I just very professionally, hey, anything interesting in there?
Knowing the type of characters that you play, you two certainly know each other, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Okay. You know what? I forgot that you two were a group.
Yeah.
You see him
it's really
finally
easy to
go
do that.
for. He has like a larger kind of flask of something that he drinks that kind of clears up his voice and like all of like the smoke pouring out stuff, and he takes a long drink of it. He goes, I mean, everybody's gonna want the weapons, but I'm looking more for the housewares and the doodads. Whatever silverware he's got ought to be worth a lot of money, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of the fangs are out looking for it to take the silver.
Thanks. I'll keep an eye out for that.
Watch your back, Henry. This is a big one.
Yeah. I'll be okay. I'm gonna end up slipping to my southern drawl by the end of this episode. I feel it. Everyone else is doing it.
I'm doing it because I'm doing it in my other game. I'm playing a cowboy, and I couldn't help myself. I had to get it warmed up.
I'm going to be hitting my South Carolina accent before tonight's done.
Yeah. My other major character plays like very like their words are very cut and to the point and put together, so I'm enjoying just being able to let loose and go a little more southern. That's gonna be fun.
My only two reliable like accents for NPCs are the Southern one and the Eastern European one, and I don't do the Eastern European one on air anymore, so I only have the Southern one.
Max caused an international incident. Anyway, I will go inside.
Okay, so Henry is leading the way inside. Is there anything else anyone wants to do outside, and is everyone else following inside otherwise?
I'll go inside. I think Sarah's gonna take out like one of those old basically like an old zine or something that they might have picked up at some point that has like well-known cursed toys, and is like flipping through it, like hoping to find some of the greatest hits.
It's Cursed Toys bi-monthly.
Yeah. It's a real bestseller. Currently the big one that like people are keeping an eye out for is a ball in a cup. But when you get the ball in a cup, a scorpion comes out.
I would say more realistically.
Oh no, it's worse.
You could have had from your old mentor. From your old mentor, you might have some notes about kind of like rumored artifacts and happenings from over the years. So if you see anything that connects to those notes that you have, I will let you know.
You got it.
Yeah, there definitely is no actual Cursed Toys bi-monthly, but wouldn't it be fun if there was?
Yeah.
Okay.
In any case, yeah, I'm looking through those notes and I head inside, kind of nose buried in my notes.
Chalice, I think, is deeply unsettled by people who used to be vampires, and so sort of rustles their like vestments more sort of primly around themselves and walks by without a second glance. But my goal is to post up by a window and wait for more people to come inside so that when there are fewer people outside, I might have a chance of getting into that shed.
Yeah. Are you trying to like scope out that now, or
I think that I'm waiting. Mostly, I'm trying to scope out the people and hope that more of them like come in, so that outdoors is less.
Yeah, I right now I think it's like an understanding that like the shed isn't open yet. Anyone outside is just like lingering because they're like meeting someone or like a social reason. So you know, people as time passes will trickle inside. I think when Henry heads inside, it's like 5 minutes or so until it's officially like supposed to like start, like things being for sale. So So yeah, pretty much everyone is going inside by then. The inside of the house, you can see that there hasn't been much rearranging for this event. They've brought in like a long table where you recognize kind of some people around town that were like friendly with Wilhelm, slash related to Wilhelm, and like one person who's there as like a more like financial overseer type, are kind of sitting there, and they have like, you know, like the money boxes to protect the exchange of money, so people can bring stuff up there and they can talk about what price it's going to be and all that. Other than that, everything else seems to be like in the same place as it was before. This is like a foyer. I never know how to say that kind of area, and there's some paintings on the wall. There is like a kind of like a lounge, like a sitting area with a table. There's some trinkets, all kinds of displays. What was said earlier is correct. Wilhelm definitely was like a maximalist. There's a lot of different stuff just like hanging on walls, and like, you know, that like the closets are stuffed, and there are different rooms you guys can go into. I will give you, there are 2 bedrooms. There's kitchen. There's dining room. There's a the room, like a billiards room. There are kind of like there's like 2 like small washrooms, and then anything else like of interest. And there's like this foyer. Anything else of interest, like workshop stuff, will be in the workshop. So those are the areas that y'all have to scour if you are looking for things. They announce that the workshop will open after the first hour of the sale, to allow some time for everyone to properly scour this area before everyone worries about rushing to the pricier stuff in the other building.
I think Assurance, kind of looking at the group, sees Chalice standing by a window and is like, yep, they're going to get into some trouble. Knows that Sera is definitely probably also focused on the shed. And because they love their nerds of partners, is instead going to walk over to Henry, place an arm, like slide an arm right in there and say, "Oh, Henry, what do you want to look at first?"
I was planning on looking at the silverware.
To the kitchen we go, and just like kind of like pulls Henry forward. And we
Henry
head
gives
to
the eye roll of a person who's done this a million times, but
kitchen.
allows it.
But allows it. And kind of like just kind of not whispers, but says to Chalice and Sera, head into the kitchen with Henry. Good luck and don't get in trouble.
Okay, so I think to most people, their first thought is to look at the bigger stuff that might be of value, like the paintings or other things that are on display, not necessarily the kitchen. So it's really only Hickory in here, and maybe one other person that have come to the kitchen before Assurance and Henry go that way. You see, Hickory is kind of very casually sorting through a silverware drawer. There's some kind of method to his madness that he's like only taking things selectively, but you don't know what it is. There's a number of other drawers. There's the pots and pans that like hang up on the wall in here. There is a wood stove. That's a thing, right? Yeah. There's a wood stove. There's a small table, and it has some of like the cutting boards and other accoutrement left out. Well, I wonder what it's gonna say that I said. Oh, it actually. I'm surprised that the captions picked that up. I was really curious. Like some of the other things that people might be interested in are laid out on the table by nature of an estate sale. If you have not been to one, the concept is that everything that is in the house is for sale. Everything that was of value to the family has been taken out, and everything that's in the house is for sale. So it's in like real life, or I guess here too, if you like need furniture, great place to get furniture and all that. So everything down to the chairs and the table itself would hypothetically be for sale, but there are plenty of drawers to look through. If you want to just collect, if you just want to collect tableware, that's absolutely something that can happen.
I think if I could give an eye over to some of the silverware and see if there's any that could be potentially like useful or have a decent silver concentration. If I could look for that. Also, if there's a cast iron like skillet.
Cast iron pan, I'd say no roll for that needed. There's definitely
Beautiful.
yeah, you can definitely take that. That's a well seasoned cast iron.
That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah, that's a well seasoned cast
I think Henry does cooking for the group. Look, acts of service.
That's
The only way you're getting
so
any
cute.
affection out of her.
I see you. Okay. Other than that, I am going to ask for a survey roll. Looking for that high silver concentration.
Okay. I got one in survey, so dice be nice. You got a 4.
Okay. I guess for the audience, I play a little fast and loose with the rolling system in any game. Because I think there needs to be some realistic reasonability to things. That being said, you by no means are an expert on sorting, pure silver from part silver. I mean, you know what the weight of something that's pure silver feels like in your hand. But otherwise, you are not totally sure. There's a few things that you can kind of just tell by the way that they are kept that you know are silver. There's like a small box and it has some like more decorative like teaspoons in it that you can guess are made from silver and likely were only used for special occasions. So you can if you, I don't know where you're keeping inventory, but you can add like silver teaspoon set to your inventory with 4 silver teaspoons.
Beautiful. Perfect.
Assurance, are you just here to bother Henry, or are you also looking for something?
I want to continue to be annoying and bother. Oh God, CJ had it. It's right here. Hickory.
Okay.
And I would like to study Hickory's like organization of the silverware right now.
All right, so you can. I think I think survey would also probably be the roll I would tell you to make for that.
I'm good at the other thing I said. I'm good at the thing I said. That's why I asked.
Oh wait, what did you say? You said
study.
Oh, you said study. Oh, okay. You're trying to discern his method, so I will allow that.
Yes. Yeah. I got an 8.
Okay, that's great. So, you can tell that perhaps from his background as a vampire, you're handling blood sterling and silver in general, probably a lot more frequently than anyone else who's currently in this house. So there's definitely some part of him that like knows the weight or the touch of it, because every piece he's picking up, and he's kind of balancing and like doing like one of these like on like the handle on his fingers as he holds it, and he isn't being a lot of people think that he's kind of crude because he's so like physically intimidating, but he's not being like messy with it. Like the things that he's not taking, he's actually putting back, and the things that he is taking, he's setting aside rather neatly.
I would like to walk over, and as he's like about to grab one that particularly looks similar to the other ones, I want to pick up one of the things, not like it's
like when you're in the thrift store and you're trying to look at the same rack as somebody.
Just kind of grabbing one of the probably heavier silver ones, or like one of the ones that are very similar to what he's grabbing.
Okay.
And it's time to be a ditz. Oh, these are marvelous. This one's so heavy and very well weighted. Is it like a fork or like a knife, or is it like?
I'd say you probably have a fork. If you're looking for something particularly big, maybe it's like a serving spoon, like one of like those like serving things.
Is he gathering like knives, or like is it all types of silverware?
It's all types that were. I think he's kind of like in the standard drawer that you have in the kitchen that has like the little thing that has like the big forks, the small forks, the big spoons, the small spoons, and the butter knives. Yeah, that's what he's going through. I think Henry is more in the specialty drawer, which is why the decorative stuff was in there.
I want to pick up a butter knife. Kind of one of the ones that he's placed aside, and he's like, oh, this one's so heavy, and then kind of like doing the same, almost similarly doing the same balancing thing, but trying to make it look as if I'm not doing that. You have good taste, Hickory.
Okay. Because I enjoy fun, I am going to entertain this. He is going to kind of look at you, and he's gonna say, that one is heavy because it's only a silver plated.
Silver plated. Looking for high silver content. I mean, that's so like looking him right in the eyes. That's so marvelous. I mean, are you trying to clean house on the silver today, or?
It'd bring far too much attention to try to clean house at a thing like this. I just want my fair share and to take a look at everything else.
Oh, of course. Well, grabs 2 of them, like a fork and a spoon. A fork is like grabs a spoon, a fork, and a butter knife. Well, if you're not trying to gather too much attention, I'll take some of these off your hands. And just kind of like, and then walks over to Henry with the spoils.
Okay. Roll. Do you have dice other than d6s with you?
I should, yes.
Roll a d10 for me.
Oh, God. Am I gonna get bullied?
No, I'm just gonna tell you how many things like that you got that are of value.
Oh, nice. I got a 6.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you grabbed 10 pieces. Kind of just like did like a handful. Incidentally enough, 6 of them have like a decent silver content. Anything that's only silver plated is kind of not really worth anything beyond being actual it's still good tableware. It's still good for the house. But if you are looking to do like Henry is likely going to melt down for bullets or for other reselling use, you got 6 more pieces here that are of silver. And I want to give some attention to our other players while Henry and Assurance are scouring the kitchen. I would love to know what Chalice and Sera might be doing.
I think Sera at this point has drifted You said there's some like some side rooms that aren't related to the kitchen, like a living room.
Yeah. So there's like a sitting there's a sitting room. There are 2 bedrooms, washrooms, a billiards room, uh, kitchen, dining room.
Ooh, I'm gonna go to the washroom.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you go up the stairs to kind of where the more private slash residential stuff is in the house.
Hmm.
Not a lot of people have made their way up here yet, and those who have, nosy fucks, are in the main bedroom. Like you can
Oh,
hear like the shuffling, um,
yeah.
in that area. And you know what? I am none better. I am none better. Uh, but yeah, you definitely, I would say, are the only one that's going to head to the washroom. Chalice, would you like to go with them, or do you have a plan of your own?
I have a plan of my own.
Ooh,
Okay, so washroom.
yeah.
What are you looking for in there?
I'm looking for towels, fabrics, soaps, oil, just like general like taking care of the house type things, as well as um like sturdy fabrics.
Yeah, I feel like that's almost a no-brainer, especially
Hmm.
because this is like the last place that people really go at a sale like this. Everything is still intact in here. Um, it is a little bit disorganized, or maybe not disorganized, but organized in a way that does not make sense to you as the person that didn't own the house.
Hmm.
But it's a small room, so you can go through it, and you can find some a few towels, and different shower curtains, kind of thing. Would there be showers? Are there showers? I think I'm gonna say that there. I'm gonna say that there's. Shower curtains can still be used for privacy, so I'm just gonna call them shower curtains. So yeah, there's definitely a few things that you can take from there. Um, there is. It appears that he had like a beard oil.
Oh.
It looks to be like a handmade concoction, maybe from one of the markets that take place here. You vaguely recognize the handwriting on the label. You're not sure which seller it's from, but you definitely know
Hmm.
that it's locally made. So that is there as well.
I give it a smell.
Um, it's kind of floral. It's kind of like a honeysuckle and rose sort of
Ooh.
sort of deal.
Okay. Yeah, I'm taking that for sure. It's always good to have distracting smells in case you need them. I take the rings from the shower curtain
Ooh, okay.
because you can do some stuff with those.
Yeah.
And then I guess I'm looking to see if they like hid anything or if there's anything like
All right.
that they
So
like tucked away in the
yeah,
bathroom
to
so that
find
nobody would find it.
to find anything hidden. Now we
Hmm.
will hit a survey roll.
Sure, I have 1 dice for that. I got a 3.
So you're looking around. You think that like maybe he's one of those guys who like keeps stuff in like the opening mirror in the bathroom.
Hmm.
But it appears like you open the mirror and they're just like it's like a little disappointing. Like there's nothing really
Oh.
there's nothing like special in there. There's more stuff that you can take, but it's not like an oddity or anything like that. It's a cup for when you brush your teeth and all that.
Hmm. Okay, I'll grab those and I'll dab a little bit of the beard oil because I like the smell and I'll put some behind
Yeah,
my
it
ears.
can definitely be used. It's a multi-purpose.
Yeah. So some fabrics, some oil, and some metal rings.
All right.
I'm grabbing surprise tools, so when I have to build a Scooby-Doo style trap, I can use what I found over the course of the estate sale.
When I do charity games, I always call like the first level like thing that you can help people with a mouse tool, like in Mickey Mouse
The
Clubhouse.
mouse
So
tool
I
for
enjoy that.
later. Yeah.
Um, I would say that as you are exiting the bathroom, and then Chalice, are you heading in the upstairs direction? Because then you would see this as well.
No, I think Chalice is heading outside.
Okay, so this is just for Sera then. You see you see some familiar sea folk. These are the Wheelwright sisters. And they are craftsmen from town. A lot of people, like, if people know of them, it's because they have like a weird shady reputation. They're very, very skilled woodworkers, and also work with water. They like the water wheels that provide power and stuff for some of the town. They maintain those. You see the two of them kind of talking among themselves as they brush kind of past you. There's like very little acknowledgement. Like, it's not quite the nod, but they make eye contact with you in a way that isn't completely hostile. And they kind of go past you to that billiards room upstairs.
I'm intrigued, so I follow.
Okay.
We can cut away from me while I figure that out.
Yeah, we will
see what's going on outside.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you some time to think about that while Chalice heads outside. So what, are you looking for the garden? What's up?
Yeah, I am. I think that Chalice takes a moment to like, just meander around a little, meander their way towards the locked shed, meander their way to looking at how it's closed to see if it's theoretically openable with lockpicks.
Okay, so the first thing you see as you approach is that there's someone else outside of here, like kind of like guarding the door, but like not guarding the way that like guards are outside a palace. Like, it's more so just like a you kind of see the resemblance to Wilhelm, maybe like some kind of like younger distant relative who is fiddling with like a handicraft that you can't see from this distance, and like just like leaning back against the door, kind of set there to make sure that nobody sneaks in, but not paying a ton of attention. You can kind of head around back to avoid them at first, and there is a storm cellar door that you can go into there for safekeeping. That is currently locked, kind of like with like an obnoxiously, almost cartoonishly large big lock and chain. You could definitely probably still pick it. It's not unseen to probably any of you. It's a very standard form. It looks like he had also tried to kind of grow a few plants like in this area, but blacksmith, green thumb, not really a thing. There is a very, very cool kind of like metal formed scarecrow figure back here guarding the like 70 to 80% dead plants.
Buddy. Yeah, I think that Chalice pulls a lockpick out from one of her like wide like priest outfit sleeves and is going to attempt to get to work on that.
Okay, so I want to have you make a roll, like almost that's gonna. I could have you make 2 rolls, or I could have you make 1 roll. Because I want there to be, like, a stealth aspect of, like, you not getting caught while you do this, as well as an actually breaking the locks. Actually, I'm going to do it as 2 rolls. So...
Oh, no.
I think...
Stealth? Yeah.
I think Prowl would be what I would use, for stealth. So roll Prowl first.
That's a 4.
Okay. It's not great. You have no dots in Prowl, right?
Yeah, no, so that was, I got a 6 and a 4.
That was a lesser. Okay. Yeah, so you kind of are like picking it up just to like examine it to get started, and that chain is so heavy. that it kind of like you see the teenager kind of like you hear like their humming stop and they kind of like peek around and they say hello, and they kind of sight that big long sleeve of yours poking out and goes, "Hey, no one's supposed to be out here for another 40 minutes. Don't make me do my job."
Oh, are these chains not for sale? We could use them.
Oh, wait, what? And they come back to join you. You can kind of see that there's like a little bit of like an antisocial panic, like nobody prepared me for this scenario. What am I supposed to do? As they come up to you, and are also taken aback by the fact that you are like in holy robes now that they can see you. Kind of like do a few weird gestures, unsure of what to do. You are you want to buy the chains like from the storm cellar? Why?
Oh, there have been all sorts of miscreants about my parish lately. We needed something solid and dependable to try and keep them out. This looks perfect. I mean, the craftsmanship on these.
Yeah, you can tell that this is someone who definitely did not get the metalworking gene in this family either. And they're like, right. And they pull out some like folded like parchment pieces from their back pocket and kind of uncrumple them and start going through this like woodwork, tableware, clothes, miscellaneous. See inside. I don't want to go inside. I mean, I have and you can roll, you can tell me what like resolve skill you want to use, out of the bottom three, to try to get what you want here.
Yeah, can I do sway? Because I'm kind of trying to leverage the fact that he did not get the blacksmithing gene.
Yeah, you can definitely use sway.
That is a 5.
Okay. I'm not on the right sheet. Oh, you have 2 dots in sway? So you rolled 2 dice, you get them both, you know that, right?
Oh, you get them both?
Yeah, you add them together, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the pick the max.
Yeah, no, once you get into multiple dice, you get to add them up.
Oh, well, that's a 9.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, like, did Alyssa just roll really bad? What just happened? Okay, so with a 9, they're definitely, kind of intimidated. I think even people who aren't necessarily of any kind of, like, religion, know that, like, you're supposed to, like, be respectful, and so they're kind of intimidated by the idea of being like no, and also scared to go inside and ask someone because they don't want to be told that they like did the wrong thing. So they're like, I have the keys, so I'll get these off for you, and then you can absolutely bring them inside, and they will price them. Or actually, we could actually do the transaction. They told me that I could do small things if people wanted stuff from the yard, and I guess this is technically the yard. So you let me do that, and they go through like about like you didn't even know that there were pockets in some of these areas on this individual's pants. It's like padding, and they eventually find an equally obnoxious looking key that opens the lock and begin to hoist the chain out. The door doesn't automatically open or anything; it stays closed. But the chains are off. They'll charge you like the fantasy equivalent of like $20. They are really heavy Who cares if does anyone care if I go on a tangent right now? Very brief. I promise it'll be so fast. Okay. When I was in high school, we played in band a piece based off of Dante's Inferno, and there was a percussion cue for chains, and we actually had to get chains, like really, really big chains, and have the percussion people like pick them up and drop them on stands in the back. And all I can imagine right now are those giant chains. See how fast that was? Okay, so fantasy $20 in coinage is what they will charge you, but they're not gonna like wait for you to get like money out or anything. They're kind of like trying to figure out how to give this to you in a way that you can carry it.
Oh, well, I have my partners are inside and they're much stronger than me, so I could send someone else out to try and figure it out.
You have 2 partners? That's so cool.
I think that a genuine look of like, oh honey, just crosses over Chalice's face.
There's very much like a, I didn't know you could do that. Like, yeah, the campaign will now be rizzing up this teenage NPC. That's the real mission. This is like what my dad does to my friends in real life. Okay. I can, and they try to get back on track. I'm gonna, I could, like, maybe just, leave these, like, over there, and they point towards, like, an empty-ish area that isn't, like, dirt, so they won't get sucked with dirt. Like, yeah. And they begin to start, kind of dragging the pieces over.
Is their back turned?
Yeah. Eventually, just like logically, their back will simply have to turn. Yeah.
Yeah. While they are distracted by that, I want to try and sneak into the workshop.
All right. Now the lock is off. I want to actually. I don't want to quite make this one prowl. I actually think that this one will be finesse. Because you're already there, not a lot of movement has to happen so much as carefulness.
That's a 7?
I think, yeah, 7 I think is just enough for me for this one. So, that noise of the chain is also heavy, especially because it's not going across dirt. I did just specify that it was solid ground, so very smart of me. Wow. Kind of like the noise of it covers you, and just as they like turn around to go grab the second link, you are gone. You can just see the cellar door, but I don't think that they are quite wise enough to realize that it wasn't like the wind rustling it without the lock on it. They're like, they must have, she must have went inside. Now, Ian, have you contemplated your course of action, and shall we skip back to you?
Sure. I'm thinking I do follow them into the billiards room, just because they probably have a good idea of, like, fun little working parts. Because I am more interested in the workshop, but there's always, like, small things that might be of interest, so I follow them in.
Yeah.
The Wheelwright sisters.
Yeah. Also, if there
How
are
many sisters?
There's just 2 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just 2 of them. They are sea folk, and they kind of have resemblance of some of the like deeper water creatures. Their skin has like some things that are like luminescent at times when you pass dark areas. They are very, very, like, naturally pale, like, almost kind of like a gray tone. They have, kind of, like, deep-cut, like, gills that flare out, from their necks. Their nostrils are, like, very angular as well. Yeah, they don't look exactly, like, there's definitely familiar resemblance, but they're not twins or anything. It's also very easy to tell them apart.
Oh. Yeah, I think I I go ahead and walk up to them. Hey, real quick, I just was wondering if you'd found anything fun, um, or any like, I don't know, weird looking toys that would make you go, "Ooh, I would never give that to a child."
So I assume you've waited a minute or two. You let them scope
Yeah,
it and then went in.
yeah.
So as you walk in, you see one of them is going through kind of like a small storage closet in the room, and the other one is actually checking in the pockets of the pool table. Uh,
Oh,
um, they both look at you when you come in. One of them kind of like disregards you, like they knew that you would probably come anyway. And the other one says, "Hello, it's Sera."
yeah, Sarah. It's nice to. I mean, we see each other around town, but I'm kind of always busy, so I do need to make an effort to say hi to more folks.
Uh, well, hello. I don't know, I was gonna do the accent for this one. It's not here. It's not here.
Hmm.
Um, uh,
That's all right.
yeah. So the one who's talking to you is the one who was like casing the pool table because it's just like closer to the entrance to the room.
Yeah.
So they stop. We haven't found anything particularly fun. We were hoping for more in here. He just seemed like the type of guy. Like, there's no way this is just a pool table, right?
No, I know what you mean. Like if I had a pool table, I would hide something in like a false bottom on the underside. I guess we should probably check the underside. Um, and they kind of they drop to their knees and kind of like do flip over so they can like wheel themselves almost underneath the pool table and start
Like
knocking
a
on
car.
the yeah, like a little car and just
Okay.
knocking on the wood to see if I can find any spots that are like that sound a little different.
All right. Let's hit it. Hit it with a survey check.
Heck yeah. All right, that's a 4.
Um, you are not seeing anything in particular. I'm actually gonna roll for the sister who is with you also. Ooh, that is double 5s. So
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, they have a higher survey than
So I don't have stat sheets for any of these people. Or at least not for the people that you've met so far. So we're
Nice.
just we're telling it like it is.
I gotta upgrade my eyes.
Um. And so she's like, kind of like underneath the table, being of a kind of like a deep sea creature vibe. They both have like decent eyesight in like darkness and can kind of discern some of the details of the table, and you see her kind of what is this? And press, and kind of like a little spring-loaded hatch opens up, okay, I found something interesting. She announces to the two of you in the room. So,
Yeah, I crawl over,
yeah.
see what's inside.
Yeah, she isn't of the mindset of like Hickory isn't like necessarily looking to give anything up, but these people, the two of them, they are kind of more willing to share. These are people here who are like purely here of curiosity. They have a very good living set up with the water wheels, so they don't need to like find stuff to busk like. She kind of like puts a hand in. It goes maybe a little bit past the wrist. It's not too big of a compartment. There is like a small pouch of like emergency money in here. You can kind of hear the jingling of coins as it comes out. There is some kind of kind of like ledger, one of like those like small wide books in here. It has some notes written down. We'll get to what's in there in a minute. And there's also kind of just like, it's a few other doodads. There's probably a set of dice for dice games in here. a few lead pencils, most of which are like super dull. And there's like a nip. There's a nip of very expensive brandy in here.
Oh. Oh. Probably made for more interesting games.
I think this is what is this? This is Crumley brandy. This bottle probably worth at least 30 or 40 gold by itself.
Wow.
It's rather very, very, very expensive. Very, very expensive liquor.
Isn't it just so? All right. So very nice liquor.
Yeah.
Interesting.
If you want to grab the book while she is kind of holding the bottle up to the light, I will give you that opportunity.
Sure. I will grab the book and see what's inside.
All right. So, inside here, it kind of seems like a place where he stashed some blueprints / drafts, whatever you want to call it, of some more experimental metalwork projects.
Interesting.
So you see a design for a pistol in here. It has like a very unique kind of like fast load chamber that comes out like the top. This is something that would never work in real life for continuity's sake, but it's my fantasy. It kind of has like this like fast load feature that comes through the top that it looks like he was working on. There is some things that are like to improve like carts / transportation, especially it looks like he was working on something for smugglers to improve kind of like secret compartments like the one in this table.
Interesting.
And in the very, very back is it's kind of like a draft on like the last like page, like front and back, and on the inside cover of the back there is a design for like a super duper like ornate sort of like dagger or short knife. It's really pretty. There are some notes here that it's like doctor's handwriting, like it'd be very difficult to decipher. But the design is very distinctive, and if you are to find this item, it might have some helpful properties.
Ooh, I'm looking for an ornate knife. And I don't say that to anyone like out loud. But
it's just a thought, yeah.
Yeah, smuggling notes, quick load pistol, and a knife that is probably very important. All right, that gives me a lot to work with.
All right. With that, let's do. I have a little bit more time before I want to break, so I want to catch up with Assurance and Henry, and actually, I want to check in on Assurance and Henry last because I have something specific planned. Is there another room? But let me know. Are you guys heading into another room inside the house, the two of you?
Me and Henry?
Yeah. Do you guys have?
I think after the kitchen, I want to look at the weapons and see what has everyone interested.
Those will be in the workshop. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you're welcome to camp it out. In fact, if you look kind of like out the window of like the entryway, you can see at this point there are some people that are kind of just like hanging out outside there waiting for them to open it up. You can also see like a really scrawny teenager who looks like kind of sweaty now, like patting their forehead dry of sweat with a very worn bandana, who's standing outside, kind of like explaining to people that they can't open it early because they're not supposed to and they will get in trouble.
That poor kid.
They are experiencing fantasy
Hell.
retail in the worst way possible right now.
I think I'll go up to the kid.
Oh god.
Um, do you need help with that? No offense, you just seem like you're struggling a little bit.
This is the first time someone has asked them if they needed something today, I think. And they're almost a little taken aback. They're like, help with what? What's happening? Did I miss something?
The chains.
Oh, somebody bought them, and she told me that there were other people that were gonna come bring them inside. Is that you? I didn't catch her name.
Oh, was it a beautiful sea folk that skin radiates in the light almost as if it's perfection? Like gemstones and like what else is blue?
I believe it
CJ?
is.
What else? CJ doesn't know what else is blue. What is Chalice's skin tone? Like
Chalice's skin is sort of a warm brown, but they do have sort of bioluminescent spots under their eyes.
yeah, that kind of radiates like a warm tree in sunlight or mud.
I feel like I'm not at liberty to make those judgment calls about a stranger, but she was a sea folk, and she had the big fancy robes on.
Ah, yes, that's my beloved. And I think like Assurance just kind of like effortlessly picks up the very heavy chains and is like, I'm the one that carries things. Unless you would like to, Henry.
I mean, you already picked it up. I'm not going to work harder.
Alrighty.
Word. Okay, so you two have acquired the chains. Chalice, you are in the workshop. I'm gonna say you have about T-minus 10 minutes to look around before people are gonna start coming in, and that's not gonna be great because you're not supposed to be in there. The workshop is, this is a master generational blacksmith's workshop. It's pretty extraordinary. The like main anvil that he would hammer on it's huge. It's like set in a hearth that could be lit. There's all kinds of tables. It seems that he was kind of operating on like a table per major project kind of thing. So the table, you would be shocked how much energy I put into just planning how this workshop is organized for literally no good reason at all. The autism was popping out. So the table that is like closest to the anvil is like a practical project, like someone paid me to make this kind of thing, and then it's like a table per project operation. So you see a few larger pieces that he was working on strewn about. There are 3 different tables, and each one of them has like a little like board where different like notes and sketches are pinned up, etc., etc. There is basically like a lazy boy in here because he spends a lot of time in here. So there's like one corner that's like it's the me corner that was for him. So there's like a lazy boy with like a little circular side table. It's also made of metal that he probably made. And there are a few like novels / like hand-drawn like comic like things also picked up from the local market that are stacked on there. But the main thing that people are looking for in here are like the big prize pieces, the things that people make to show off at the county fair, the pride and joys, the my father fought with this in a war kind of weapons that are hanging on the wall. There are a number of very fine swords and axes that are hanging here on display or on racks. And that is the gist of the workshop.
What type of weapon does Henry favor?
It's mostly what I don't favor, but I prefer rifles, pistols, and long swords.
Are there any guns, or is it just sort of mostly like swords and axes?
There is not a gun on display. You can certainly look for one.
I will attempt that.
All right. Let's survey.
That's a 3.
Okay, I would say that with a 3, you kind of start looking around, and this place is like so jam-packed that it's like overwhelming choice to be like, what drawer do I go into, what wall do I check for a compartment. Like, you have no idea where to even start. You try kind of with the standard tables. You're taking your time. You find another, you can find some other fun knickknacks, kind of like a few like gold coins that he has like kind of like hammered into like daddish jewelry pieces, like attempts, and hidden in a drawer. But no gun.
Then I will just sort of grab a knickknack at random and try and find a place where I can like be not hide, but like hide until they open the doors, and then I can pretend I came in with the crowd. Like,
I would say there's reasonably like enough clutter in here that you could probably get under. You could get under something, or even like you could even. I would never tell someone to go back in the closet, but you could pop in the closet, hide behind like there are like blackout curtains on the windows, so you can even get behind a curtain. I'd say that you have enough skill. I'm not gonna make you roll. You can definitely hide out until this opens. Is all of the rest of you gathering outside of here for when it's going to open? Or I guess that's really me asking Sera, because Assurance and Henry had kind of already stated their priority. You all kind of rendezvous. I don't think any of you really know where Chalice is, the rest of the three of you. So that's maybe a bit of weirdness, like where did she go? People are starting to crowd about. Finally, more people have come to relieve this teenager of sole duty, because they have like the front keys to the workshop. They very smartly did not provide those to them, and kind of just like giving like a briefing to everybody, like, please don't trample each other, please don't hurt each other. If anyone hurts each other with the weapons, we're gonna throw you out. That kind of thing. And kind of as the speech is happening, you kind of hear the people behind you in the crowd, kind of any kind of chit-chat between them come to a hush. You hear a waver in the voice of the person that is giving the speech, as they kind of spot someone that you suppose has walked up behind you. I need to know which one of you is looking. You're not going to make any like saving throw kind of thing. It's for my understanding of what you might know about whoever or whatever you're seeing.
I would say Sarah's a little distracted, so they don't know who it is.
I'll keep an eye out.
All right. So you look over, and Henry grew up, a little bit outside of town. So you were doing farm work originally, but you've been around a few times, and this is someone who is unmistakable. He is of Drancaster. This is like where he resides, but he doesn't often show his face at like a mundane affair. He is clad completely in like a brass armor, including a helmet. It's shaped like a crescent moon. This individual is an individual called the Brass Devil. The Brass Devil, everyone knows, is a vampire. Nobody knows how old he is, but he is a vampiric knight. He's like very seldom seen at these affairs, which means that it is a big deal to see him here, and it kind of has caused the hush among everyone as the person addressing you all has struggled to get through the speech. And you can see kind of like their shoulders like clammed up and their hand kind of like shaking as they go to unlock the warehouse. And that is where I think we are going to take our break. So everyone please take a few minutes to stretch and get a snack, all of that stuff, and we will be back with the second half of the episode that I thought that I was way less prepared for, but actually I'm fine. Very soon. Bye. All right, that should bring us back, but we're not on the screen yet. Okay, there we are. Hi, everybody. I hope that you all had a good break. If you are just joining us, this is... Oh, wait.
I was about to say
I thought that I was smart. I thought that I put everybody in the right places.
No, I think it's because we...
What happened? Why is there an extra me? Oh, you're just not cropped right. Hold on. I don't know how you got uncropped. All right.
Just shuffle my little box
We'll
around.
do it
Everyone
live.
else is everyone else in the right places?
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I was like, I'm gonna be slick while we're talking. I'm gonna put all the zoom back in the right places. That way, I don't have to change it over. Just watch. I said to myself. If you're just joining us, this is Crimson Harvest. We are a dual cast and dual system actual play, and this is our inaugural episode. We're here with our team of hunters. We are playing in Brinkwood, Blood of Tyrants. Very cool game. You should check it out. Our hunters are at an estate sale. The estate sale is for the recently passed, not of any particular horror, so no worries. Wilhelm Valenwood, a blacksmith of multiple generations within the family. As they were opening up the workshop shed to allow people into the main event of this estate sale, we had a figure of interest arrive, the Brass Devil, who is a vampiric knight. This is the first vampire we are seeing to our faces in this campaign. And a hush kind of fell over the crowd, even kind of very clear unsettling of the person, but they are continuing on and currently unlocking that workshop for y'all to head inside. People seem to be keeping it orderly for now. Definitely because of the presence of the Brass Devil. It's almost like out of really, to pull no punches, out of fear, not that he'll attack them. Like, it doesn't look like he's gearing up for any kind of violence, but definitely just out of fear, intimidative presence. He kind of is allowed just to the front of the line that people are forming to head inside.
I like to think that I don't know if I'm at the front, but I like to think that I'm up there because my assumption is that because lovely old Chalice had these shames that they're probably inside. So I'm explicitly, if I'm up in the front, I'm explicitly not moving as the brass motherfucker.
You're explicitly not moving. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just
Are you trying to make a statement with this, or you're just is there anything that you're saying? Are you making any big physical gesture, or are you just holding your place?
No, I see people are moving for some odd reason because some fucking vampire is here, and I think Assurance just kind of turns around, sees them coming, and continues to stand in their place. It's kind of just oh, I'm in line, or at least Assurance is well, I'm in line, gonna wait my turn like everyone else. I don't know what this weirdo is gonna do.
All right. I don't think he's looking to enact crazy rabid violence right upon arrival. I think anyone that old has to be a little smarter than that. So he will kind of stand, and you can't see the look on his face, so I'm not going to describe it because it's under that helmet. He'll kind of stand there. Just imagine this 7-foot tall mountain of a man, just standing behind Assurance, who is also pretty tall, as we have established earlier. Just kind of standing behind Assurance with his arms crossed, and the entire rest of the estate sale behind. Are Henry and Sera with Assurance, I would presume, in the line.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I'm establishing this, it really doesn't matter. So the door swings open, the attendant, the person, steps aside. Chalice, from where you're hiding, you can hear this, obviously. The lock in the door, you can hear it swing open. And the shuffling of footsteps. Of course, like, when it's open, people, like, are kind of, like, nudging. The brass devil seems to be of no particular hurry. Once you guys head forward, strides in, kind of at, like, a leisurely, confident pace. And the place, it quickly begins to fill with people. You recognize different people from around town. Some people, like, are merchants, the whole scale of people. Everyone from, like, a quiet librarian who, like, you never thought that you'd see here to, like, an annoying guy who upsells everything at the market. Everybody's here, and everybody kind of just begins to sort through things. There's gonna be, like, a steady rate of, I don't want to call it panic. Frenzy, perhaps. A steady rate of Black Friday. That will go on as you spend time in here. Chalice, you kind of can merge your way back into the crowd easily enough and rejoin your group if you so please.
Well, and I think I sidle on up to Sera and sort of drape myself over her, which is reasonable because we're both around 5 feet tall.
Yeah, we're around the same height, yeah.
Over them, yeah.
Yeah.
And I say, "Oh, I got you some chains. Did you see them?"
No, but that's lovely. I can make a lot of things with chains. I can use them in a lot of different variety of forms. I can attach a bear trap to one and swing it around my head, although I'm pretty sure Assurance told me not to do that anymore.
What in the Bloodborne? Absolutely not. Oh my god.
That was like the big selling point when I read this thing. I was like, ooh, is that just Bloodborne? Heck yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I think they're looking very excited around, and they're mostly keeping their eyes peeled for the knife. But they do give Chalice a little squeeze, and they're like, "What? You disappeared for a bit, but I'm glad you got chains. Be safe when you disappear."
I was.
Okay, good. That's all I need to know.
Just a note. Also, apparently, this caption service knows that Bloodborne is one word.
Oh, sick.
Captioner.
Based caption ninja.
Based caption ninja. Okay, so now that you are all inside, you are reunited. What or who are you looking for or at? I am going to you know what? I'll hit the reverse order of the intros. So, Dare, what is Henry looking for or at?
I think there's a good there is a smart answer, and I'm not doing that. I think I am mostly just like absentmindedly looking at things while keeping my real focus on the brass devil.
Okay. Yeah,
just keeping an eye.
Oh, it's like a classic like movie play where they're like pretending to shop and really very blatantly staring at something. I think you have a little bit more tact than that. Are you more focused on keeping up the appearance that you are looking for stuff, or are you more focused on like following the brass devil with your eyes?
One of these answers is worse. I'm going to focus more on following with my eyes.
It's not like one of these answers are worse. It's what am I going to make Dare roll?
Yeah, I'm
sometimes things are not a riddle. Okay, so with that, I'm going to have you roll. I'm gonna have you roll study.
Cool.
I know you don't have dice in study, but
fine.
that's the right skill.
I rolled 5. So.
Okay, 5 is not bad. So right now you can you can't quite tell what he is looking for. I know what he's looking for. I'm not going to tell you, because a 5 isn't high enough. You do have some ideas based on your knowledge, though, that I will give you. So here's another rumor. When there are vampires in a society, I find that there are a lot of rumors about people. So no one seems to know for certain how old the Brass Devil is. A lot of people drunk in taverns have claimed to know. But no one has. You've never seen him say it from his own mouth. Not that he makes that many public appearances to begin with. So nobody knows for certain. However, it is heavily rumored, pretty much to a point that it's almost definitely true that he engages in some alchemical practices and things like that. And that kind of leads to rumors about him being very old. Like maybe he's trying to recover memories or things like deep from his past, artifacts deep from his past, or things deep from his past. So you think it could be related, like he's looking for some of that older stuff or something related to that. It could be that's like a powerful enough force to have brought him from his tower in the town. But you're not sure what specifically in this workshop. You don't know what that would look like here. That's just the logic behind it. That is what I will give you.
Okay.
Okay. Who is next? Alyssa.
I think that Chalice failed to find a pistol, but there were swords on the wall, so I want to try and jostle my way over towards the longsword.
Yeah. There are a number of people kind of looking at every weapon. It's very much like a game of like who's gonna grab stuff, like who's gonna be ballsy enough, and that kind of thing. And also like these weapons are heavy. Like a sword is heavy, so it's a matter of like actually getting the stuff down. You can go up to one of the long swords on the rack or on the wall. And what exactly? You want to just take it down? Or...
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That wasn't a trick question. So you also have been in here, so you kind of might have been able to see like what mechanisms hold it up, so you can take it down. You can take it down very easily. It does have the weight. It has the weight of a very well crafted greatsword. It looks recently, or not like sharpened since it's seen battle, or any kind of like actual dueling like use. But it definitely has been used as like the leather that wraps the handle on the hilt is worn from fingers. It is every weapon in here is well taken care of. The blades and such, and the metalwork is always like shined, sharpened, etc. You get some looks when you take it down. I think maybe one person tried to take it and couldn't figure out like the latch to get it off. But you got it.
Then I will make my way over to where Henry is unsubtly watching the Brass Devil and sort of present it grandly. I'm not sure if this would be useful for you.
Oh, no, that absolutely would be. I can get some solid use out of this. And I think one of the few things Henry does take enjoyment in is weaponry. I think like she has a bit of a special interest in violence. And like just holds it for a second and just doesn't do a full swing, but just kind of moves it around in their hand just to kind of get a feel for the weight. Yeah, this will do. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course. Anything for you. And Chalice, who knows nothing about weaponry, but was just sort of guessing based on the fact that this is a master blacksmith's workshop.
Yeah, nothing.
Sort of smirks and feels proud of herself.
You can't really go wrong with much in here. like anything you find is gonna be well made. There are certain things that will be more coveted than others. You currently, simply because it is funny, you currently see like two like buffer guys doing boulder parchment shears for like the biggest axe on the wall. Um, um, yeah, there's definitely some bickering now that's beginning to happen over things where the smarter people are now like looking in the drawers, like someone has opened, it's kind of like one of like those very thin storage closets to find some like smaller pieces in there, so there's like some people are now flocking to that area. Ian, let's talk about Sera.
Yeah, I'm looking for that dagger I got in the notes under the billiard table.
Okay, yeah. Let's
Sure will. Maybe I'll roll above a 3.
So I'm going to alter this. I'm gonna have you roll survey, but I want to give you an extra die because not only are you looking for something specific, you have the creator's like blueprint of it, so you very distinctly, if you find it, will know if it's it or not it.
Ooh.
So even if like someone else has pulled it out by chance, like you would be able to spot it and bargain. That's what I'm giving you the extra die for. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. I will use 2 dice. Okay, that's a little better. That's a 4 and a 5.
A 9. No, that's great. Okay. So, with a 9, you have just kind of seen them pop open like this new like thin closet, right? And that has a lot of the smaller pieces in it. You see a lot of people scouring the higher shelves. It's just like nobody wants to bend down, right? Like of course you're gonna do the stuff that's at your eye level first. So you kind of have the foresight to kneel down on the ground, and you see like a little chest. This is actually a wooden thing. This is probably made by someone else. It's just like a little, almost like a little cigar box, kind of thing. It is sealed shut, but you see that the same style and detail of like the ornate carvings that had been drawn out and drafted in the back of the book for this weapon decorate the outside of this case through some kind of painting. It looks like it wasn't done with like traditional acrylic paint, but maybe likely by Wilhelm with something that he had in here. And yeah, it is super duper sealed shut, but it's more likely that it's in there than it would be anything else. And because of the commotion, I will even say that you can probably take it without getting too many looks.
Okay. I will take it and add it to my little like shopping cart, so to speak. And I'm pretty sure that's like the main thing. I kind of survey to see if there's any guns or if there's any like funny kind of weapons that I think that Assurance would like. Like not necessarily something useful, but like a fun little like gimmick weapon that I think would be like, I was never actually threatening you at all. This weapon's like a little joke. Haha, so funny. And I'm looking for those.
There's definitely like a Mabel Pines grappling hook in here. Mabel Pines grappling hook, always present, staple.
Yeah, it's everywhere you look.
But his specialty is a blacksmith, actually.
Yeah. He's a wall. Oh, okay. Yeah, I grab a conspicuous grappling hook, and I go, this will be pretty funny.
As you say that you're looking for a gun, it's a little bit strange that nobody has found a gun yet. Not that he was a renowned maker of guns or anything, but it's just something at this point kind of in the history, in the timeline of the world, that every blacksmith has made at least a couple of. You know, they're good money. and you hear kind of like the fiddling and clicking of a gun's mechanism, as you see behind you, not like directly behind you, but like you turn around and see the brass devil with a rifle. It seems to have come out of like another hidden compartment in one of the walls, and he is examining it silently and thoroughly. CJ, what is Assurance doing in here?
My mic was muted. I was gonna start bullying the brass devil, but it seems that he's interested in something else. This sucks.
I mean, you're welcome to try to still bully him. The gun isn't loaded.
Good. What I want to do is roll as many dice as possible and use as many abilities in this one moment because I'm a nuisance. I want to use my, I don't even know what it's called anymore, but my heart ability to look into the heart of the brass devil.
Oh, yay, I'm so excited. Okay.
And also study him so that I can so I can get inside his head and, I don't know, take whatever it is that he wants next. Whatever he's looking for, I want to look for it and take it.
Okay. I want to quickly
read this man.
I want to quickly look at the exact wording of like how you can look into the heart of someone. It just says you may see the hearts of folk.
Yeah, literally.
I actually don't know if he's considered folk because he is a vampire.
That's fair. I wondered about that.
So, yeah, I think that is pretty explicit that they're separate. It was a really good idea though. So I'm gonna give you something.
Yeah.
So you try to look into the heart of the brass devil. Have you tried to do this to a vampire before?
I don't know. I think not Henry. I think Assurance does it actually. Yeah, I don't think Assurance tends to do that often.
Okay.
I think when Assurance sees a vampire, it's on purpose, and there is one reason that they're there. But often tries to avoid them for the most part.
Okay. So you have never tried to do this to a vampire before then, and you're not sure if it's going to work. And it doesn't work quite in the same way that it would if you were to do it to one of your peers. It feels strained. It's usually kind of very clear and piercing, but you kind of get a feeling like you've got like cotton balls in your head and in your ears when you are trying to do this. And you can't see super clearly, but you see kind of like a static few flashes to what you can only assume the brass devil, or who the brass devil once was. You see him as a younger man. You see a beast folk like yourself, kind of more having traits that are more like bull or oxen like, the traits that are less human, and you see him kind of doing some heavy lifting for an older scholar. You can tell by you're like kind of the bardic type, so I'll say due to like the style of dress that you see in this memory, you can tell that it's quite old. Like anything that anyone is wearing is like very out of fashion. It'd be like going to like a historical reenactment, like for you guys. You can kind of see him doing some heavy lifting, being just as bulky and large as he is now, for like an older kind of wizardy, scholarish, like looking type. And he is hoisting this big chest, and he sets it down, and you hear the older man say, "Oh, that's quite right. Let's get this open, lad, shall we?" And he puts this rickety old key into the chest. You can feel the emotions of the brass devil in this moment. Some kind of like mix of anxiety and excitement, kind of like verging on relief, looking for some kind of solution to something. But as the chest opens, instead of seeing inside of it, you kind of whisk to another memory, and you see kind of like the unmarked headstone of someone, just like a cross made of sticks, kind of like out in the forest. It's like the air is like it's about to rain, like when you can smell it, but it's also like really bitter cold. You get chills up your arms as you. I can't believe I'm rewarding an ability that doesn't even work. What's happening to me right now?
I think it's neat.
I think it's neat. We improve as the players. We like.
Yeah. Oh, I want to learn about this spooky
Yeah,
guy.
you feel kind of like a chill up your own arms as the memory of this cold ensues, and the emotion is lack of understanding. It's frustration, and it's bordering on anger. And as the vision begins to fade, it kind of fades to like a hazy red until eventually you are like truly back in your body. The cotton feeling has faded, and you're shut out.
So I saw him when he was folk, which is tasty. I love this. How do I cause problems?
I'll say, because that's fun. You can do that if you want to try to heart a vampire. I'll let you do it for a full
that's so
flashback.
fun. I love that.
That's way more fun. Yeah.
It is so fun. It seems so with my big brain and artistic muse. It seems like he is fucking sad or whatever. So
If
I'm gonna
we've
walk
learned
up to
anything from Castlevania, we should know that if you live long enough, you will inherently be sad.
Just will be sad. I walk up to him, to the brass tax. I know that's not his name. That's a mighty fine rifle. Tall individual.
So, like I said, his helmet covers his face, so you can't really see his facial expressions. So, and thus I will not describe them.
Yeah, I'm not looking at his face, yeah.
You do see the body language, kind of, he turns towards you, the head just barely, like half an angle to the side. His chin tilts down, to look at you. From where it is, you can see through the helmet, just like through like the slit that the red eyes of a vampire are there. Not all vampires have red eyes in this, but this one does. And it looks like he regards you. He definitely heard you, but he does not say anything back. He only kind of rests the butt of the gun like down on the ground and holds it steady.
Looking for anything in particular? Gotta love a house sale. Anything I can help you with? Brass devil. Everyone seems to be afraid of you, rightfully.
I'm afraid right now. Roll sway.
I don't think I'm good at that. That's fine. Am I good at that?
You're definitely not intimidating to this guy. So
I'm not trying to be
Yeah.
intimidating. Please, Lord, give me a 6. This is all that I ask. Please, failing would be really bad. I threw my dice. I'm gonna grab another one. Please, Lord. 6.
Yay! Okay. Oh god, I didn't think you were gonna succeed. Now I have to figure out what I'm gonna do.
What is a success? I literally rolled the highest I could. I'll start crying.
I mean, there's a part of me that has to reward like the highest thing that you can get is a 6. So you asked him if he was looking for anything, and then you said that people are afraid of him. You kind of hear him mumble something first that doesn't seem to come out. He goes, were you looking for the rifle? And kind of slides it across to you, like kind of just trying to get you to go away by giving you the thing.
Takes the rifle. No, but I know someone that would love this. If this is a gesture of... No, what is that? What would that be called? CJ doesn't know words.
Goodwill?
Like, kind of basically trying to make me go away.
Okay.
If this is a bribe, it is a good one. As Assurance is just kind of like tapping the weapon, kind of feeling it up, touching it very intimately. Well,
are you looking at it while you're doing this?
Yeah, because I can't really see his eyes.
Yeah. He is kind of gonna try to turn his attention elsewhere while you are examining the gun. So if you would like to try to call him back or follow behind him, you can.
Yeah, he seems socially awkward or annoyed by me, so this means I'm in the lead. And I go, how do I use his own memories? This is so fun.
Oh God.
Sure, this is gonna get canceled.
I'm gonna make the meme later that's like no fear, and then the T-shirt one fear.
one fear.
Yeah.
Just kind of walks with him actually, because that's even funnier. Yeah, we live in a time where CJ's asking, is this like traditional vampire rules? Like, is he wearing armor? Because is it during the day? I'm assuming it's during the day, or is that just not really a thing?
The sale is during the day. He wears the armor all the time.
Got it.
He wears the armor all the time. Yeah.
That's so
it's like
cute.
his thing.
I'm gonna say he's from the book, so I did not make him, so I don't have all of the answers. Yeah.
It's time to turn on the charm, and by turn on the charm, I mean continue being annoying. Tapping the weapon in his hand. So, do you like? This feels like the worst question I could ask. Do you like?
I'm so scared.
Do you like jazz?
Oh, I thought you were going to be able to resist.
I was going to, but I was gonna ask, do you like being a vampire? But that felt like a question that would get me killed. And Assurance is not an idiot.
If I tell you something over the table, will you not metagame?
Sure.
I think that is the kind of balls that he might be like he might have respected.
That's so funny. I
don't know a lot of people. I guess like in that, if I were to put myself in that position, with his particular mindset, I don't know if anyone would have ever asked him something like that.
That is so fair. CJ was going to ask, but I'm like, I don't want Assurance to get beat up.
Okay. Do you like jazz? Is what you ask.
Do you like jazz? I think I'm gonna string questions. Do you like jazz? Do you like the sun? Do you like being a vampire?
To carry over your sway roll, I will say occasionally no, occasionally, and not anymore, not really, no. Is there something that I can help you with? Are you looking for something?
We sad. Oh, tasty. Yeah, I love people. Brass. Do you have a name? Should I just call you Brass? I like examining things. I like peering into the souls people like yourself. Kind of taps the gun, not in like the butt of the gun on the armor.
Are you flirting with him?
That could be interpreted.
For the record, I also think that not a lot of people have really even like heard him speak before, at least the people here. So I think now that you have engaged in a conversation with him, one or two people are actually like kind of like taking a second glance over and like watching this. To the three of you in the group, it definitely would it would raise an alarm in a different way. Assurance is engaging in Philadelphia behavior and fucking around to find out.
Just kind of like have a feeling that nobody really talks to you, and that seems so sad. So sad. I mean, CJ asking, nobody starts as a vampire, right? Like it's
No,
always
nobody starts as a vampire. When you become
Yeah.
a vampire, you actively choose to continue being one. So you
God.
have to
Yes,
consume.
you're right.
You have to
Yes.
consume like the blood sterling to continue being a vampire. You can lose access to it like through like money, like socioeconomic like nonsense. But you can also
Oh.
choose to stop. Like the smoker.
Got it, yes.
He chose to not do that anymore.
Cool. Using that.
Yeah. Everybody has a name.
Has a what?
Everybody
Name?
has
Oh,
a
yes.
name.
Yes, and I figured it would be nice to ask you, considering I have a feeling that people make the assumption that when folks like yourself lose their humanity, they don't want to be treated like people anymore. And I am the type of person not to abide by standard behaviors.
Dev is fine.
Dev? That is a pretty name. Okay, Dev.
And
How?
who
Yeah, good.
are you?
Kind of like closes not even closes, kind of puts their their poetry book in hand. I am the person always sure, always ready, always sure of himself. Assurance is my name. But you can call me whatever you want, because I think you're fun.
You hear a noise. It's almost like a laugh. Not laughter, because it's only one singular laugh. It kind of comes up his throat, and then it's gone. It was assurance.
Rest
I-
assured.
Will admit that this has been one of my more amusing forays into town. Is there really anything that I can help you with, or are you poking the bear for some kind of fun dare, or...
Dare? No. I find that interesting results come from poking the bear. And I am interested in you. How about we keep hanging out?
I
Let's say dinner.
actually want... Are you actually asking him to dinner right now?
Yes.
Okay, disregard what I was about to say. Forget that. Forget the route that I was about to take.
I'll ask later. I'll ask later what the route is.
Oh God. Okay, this is a choice. I think there's part of a man so sad and so alone that would be genuinely taken aback by being invited to dinner. On the other side, he doesn't really eat. And he does not really take that helmet off publicly. It's not you know what he looks like actually, because you've seen at least what he looked like as a younger man. You don't know how old he was when he turned. He says, I'll tell you what.
Yes, I'm listening.
This is a charming act. I have something I need to find, and if I can locate it or something of equivalent significance uh, uh, before I leave here today, then I will, I suppose, perhaps see if I still know how to cook.
Wonderful, Dev. Well, and I think Assurance pulls out, I guess, their last flower, and just kind of places it in a crevice. Whether it happens or not, remember, use this to remember me. And puts the gun on, like, around their neck, almost in a way that probably is like, this person definitely knows how to use a gun. Like, that is not the way someone that is, like, afraid of a weapon would put that on. And walks over to their 2 and maybe 2.5 partners.
You've heard of 2.5 men.
You've heard of
Have you heard
Where's
of
that half? Subtract that half.
I didn't say a
Unhalf
word.
the half.
Unhalf the half. 2.25.
Oh no.
And that's me.
Did I hear all of that since I had been going out of my way to watch?
Yeah, you guys watch, you guys as well as like 1 or 2 other people who like seem to have oh, actually, you know what? I think it is the sisters. The sisters kind of like join you for a kind of like a brief viewing, the Wheelwright sisters. And kind of just like watching and eating the metaphorical popcorn of what the hell is going on here.
Yeah. I think Sarah's like in the interim has walked up to Henry and it's just like, hey, I got this box. We're keeping it. It's important. I'm not leaving without it. Also, what do we do about that?
Same thing we always do.
Okay, I just want to make sure because this one, I can never tell when it's going to hurt Assurance's feelings that we do what we have to do.
Can I be a little frank? I
Yeah, of
don't
course.
care.
Oh, I always like that about you. You're so forthright about hurting Assurance's feelings.
I'm just honest, and they appreciate it.
Aw.
I think I'm just kind of looking at Assurance with the, you know, the look a parent gives you when you messed up in public, and like I can't yell at you in front of a polite company, but I'm waiting for you to walk back over here so I can have a mean whisper.
Maybe your parents couldn't yell at you in front of a polite company. I'm an only child.
Oh no. Assurance kind of walks over, gives Sera a kiss on the cheek. I'm assuming Chalice is also over here.
I think
Yes.
I think everyone had gathered.
Of course. With just like the big like look of triumph on their face. Kind of walks over, gives Sera a kiss, gives Chalice a kiss, looks at Henry, almost like,
Sarah does flinch a little because you were just using that mouth to sweet talk a vampire.
you don't want one either, Henry. Come on, I got you all that silver earlier.
I'm good. I don't exchange gifts for kisses. I apologize.
Lame, boring.
Boo.
I'd like to return mine since you got distracted off mission. You can give it back later when you've earned it. And I I pat my cheek and put it on your and like smack your face.
Ah, so rough. I like that about you. Ah, okay.
They make a face, but they're like not too peeved.
So, you appear to have made plans?
Yes, I probably will have a dinner date. Did you want to intervene? Did you want to take me on a date yourself?
No, I do have maybe a mind to crash that date, depending on the amount of armor your friend is wearing.
Trust me, I will be fine.
I'd rather fight a naked vampire than a vampire in full armor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you think that this will evolve into a fight explicitly?
Well, I think the helmet's probably going to stay on no matter what.
I wouldn't be too upset about that. Oh, you're talking about something else.
What? Oh.
Oh.
I like you, but you're gross.
Yeah, that's like my whole thing. I have no shame.
Ugh.
Look, and they begin to like whisper. Look, I have a few reasons to believe that I will be fine. But if you to love me so dearly that you must watch me on my dates.
It's not about you. Don't get ahead of yourself.
If you love me, if you are so infatuated with me that you must watch me even when I go on dates with other people, then fine, do it at a distance, but do not intervene.
I have no intention of intervening until there's a moment where I can get that vampire away, and then we can swiftly move on.
You will do no such thing. There are many targets in this place that you can worry about. I don't need you messing with mine, Henry. Do remember which one of us carries more weapons on them.
This seems a bit unhealthy, no? One of them leans to Sera and
The
Chalice.
sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh.
Like
I understand the amount of weaponry you carry, but we can maybe understand which one of us knows how to wield a weapon with a bit more efficiency. Now, if you believe you got it, I will not step on your toes. I will stay out of your way. But I don't want you to make a mistake. And I don't want you to get hurt either.
Places a hand kind of like gently on your like arm. Oh my dear, I weaponize my own incompetence around you. Never want you to feel any sort of any sort of inferiority. My love, I wouldn't carry around this many weapons if I didn't know how to use each and every one, intimately including my mouth. So, thank you for the kind sentiments. I love how honest you are.
Look, I know you're competent. You've been alive long enough. You've been in this group long enough. Obviously, you're not an amateur. This is just, I don't want to say above our pay grade, but this isn't anyone small. But do what you like. You always do.
Yeah, I do, don't I? And as to your point, I agree. It is above our pay grade, so don't you think a different approach would be necessary? Like a harmless date?
If you think you can turn a date into a death, then I'm all for it.
There are better things, and this is weird coming from Assurance's mouth. There are better things, there are better results than death.
All right.
As you kind of get to this point in the conversation, on like the back of like just a piece of scrap paper, from in here, you see kind of like an address scrawled. I think everybody knows that the Brass Devil lives in, like, the tower that's in town, but he, like, wrote the address to the tower, like, the formal, street name to it, and he says, excuse me, and hands it to Assurance, and he's got something wrapped in a piece of cloth under his arm as he heads out.
Yippee! Thank you. Like, kind of like grabs it very softly, but surely. I will be seeing you.
He is leaving
God,
after
yep.
he hands that to you.
I just pulls out similarly in the first scene, pulls out like a handkerchief. Be seeing you later.
I don't want to derail, but due to the amount of camera issues, you have moved around.
I see that just now. It's gonna be okay.
Shuffle.
It's gonna be okay. 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 So I think that is a. Everyone else is in the right spot. Okay. I think that is a good enough time as any to kind of start to close out. Is there anything else that you guys want to grab from the sale? At this point, it looks like, for one thing, the Breast Devil has made his exit at the right point, because we've gotten to the point of, like, people bickering and fighting over things, and no one is shouting yet, but, like, there's like all kinds of tomfoolery. People like actually like crouching and like trying to like leave with things unnoticed. There's like all kinds of transactions happening like right outside the door. There's like people looking under like rugs like it's an escape room. Like it's getting a little funny. So if there's anything else you would like to grab before we call the sale to a close, let me know now.
I grab a few springs because it's a blacksmith's workshop and probably has a few.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of stuff you don't have to fight for. So springs are yours. Yeah.
Yeah, so I buy my box, my bathroom supplies, and I grab some springs and like, little odds and ends that I can like put something together with. I'm already getting an idea of like maybe it's something that like grabs the helmet and like smushes his face. It's pretty brutal, but it'll be fun. So like you can already see that like Sarah's like taking out a little notebook and going like magnets question mark and just having a whole full field day with it. But they do get the box.
All right. Anyone else? Going once. Going twice. Going 3 times. Sale closed. Sera manages to purchase those last items. You guys pay for the longsword if you guys are taking, or the greatsword if you guys are taking it, as well as the rifle. Any other effects like the kitchenware and the stuff found under the pool table. All of that stuff can be paid for and taken. It might do you well to just hide that book, but I think you are smart enough to do that in leaving. And in a direction that I totally did not see this session taking, you all are free to head back to your HQ. We will close the episode, and next time we play, we will reopen in one of the following days. So thank you everyone for watching. This was quite a fun time. I'm going to take it around the table with some outros. CJ, where can everyone find you?
Hi everyone, I'm CJ. I played the gay menace, Assurance. You can find me on don't shake your heads at this. You can find me in most places at Scholastic Dragon, one word. Scholastic like the book fair, dragon like the mythical creature, but drop the O on dragon. I do a lot. I don't do a lot actually, but if you think I'm cool, hot, sexy, fun, or cool, you can like buy my games or something. I make games. That's something I don't talk about as often as I should. They're all sad. Most of them are sad, and that's just what it is. So yeah.
Okay. Ian, where can everyone find you?
Hi everybody, you can find me on Twitter at Ian_Caliente. You can also, if you're like really itching for back-to-back TTRPG evenings, the finale of the long-running D&D game that I've been in is tomorrow. It's the Rise of Nyarlathotep campaign. You can find them on Ballad of the Seven Dice. I play an artificer tiefling, also making a lot of spooky weapons, but they also got married. And we haven't had the honeymoon because the world's been ending, and we got to deal with this before we can have the honeymoon. So we're gonna have our fun finale. We have to stop in a spooky, like nightmare monster's birthday. We've already trashed the birthday cake, so we're doing great. But yeah, come watch our finale tomorrow at Ballad of the Seven Dice. We start at 7:30-ish EST, and we usually go until 9 or 10-ish. So yeah, hope I can see y'all there. I might be running a game on that same channel soon. So that's the main thing I'm doing right now.
All right, Alyssa, where can we find you?
Hi, y'all. I'm Alyssa. You can find me on Twitter at A Disaster Queer. On Wednesdays, you can find me on the Mandy's Twitch channel for Mist Lost, which is a 5e campaign that is also very gay and chaotic. And you can also find me on the podcast Goblets and Gays, which is a Pathfinder 2e campaign.
And Dare. You
Hi.
do stuff.
I do. Hi, I'm Dare. Pronouns she, they, they. If you like seeing me argue with CJ, you're in luck because that's just us at old points. You can see us literally arguing today on my Twitter at Dare to Dream RPG. That is DARE, the number 2 DREAM RPG. In terms of other projects, I have a few that are starting up very soon that I'm very excited about. So if you happen to like, I don't know, Cyberpunk or a bunch of other stuff, I'm doing that very soon. More details to come. And honestly, I have a little bit of a breather since Transplanter RPG just ended. What's that? Transplanter RPG, the all trans people of color led D&D actual play podcast, and live stream GM by the incredible Connie Chong. That show, well, you can still catch up on it on the podcast feed, pretty much wherever pods are casted. And I think that's enough for me today.
I will flex that in this game, both of our casts have also no cis people. So, yay us. I'm Max. You can find me anywhere that I want you to find me on the internet at Arcane Goth. While Dare is taking a breather, I got a lot of stuff coming out right now. So you can find me here on Mondays. We're going to alternate casts. So next week you'll see the vampires, not these folks, and we'll get back to this storyline in the week following. So on and so forth when we get to our finale. A while from now, you'll have everybody at once, and Max will have to make a new overlay. But it'll be fine. You can find me on Critical Misses for the next few Fridays for the rest of Growing of the Dim, which is our horror anthology series. We're currently in the 3rd season. You don't need the other 2 seasons to know what's going on, but they're also fun to watch, and on YouTube if you want to watch them. I also have some stuff coming out with Apochromatic, which is a group and we look to uplift POC voices in tabletop gaming. So we have Court of Blades coming out from them sooner or later. I don't know when it's getting released. It's pre-recorded and it is really good. And I drew my character and it's on my Twitter, so you should go look at it because he's so hot for literally no reason. And this is the part where we would usually raid, but I don't actually know how to do it. I'm doing tech, so I'm gonna put us to a break, and I think Neon Lights roleplay is on, so like if you want to watch more tabletop stuff, go watch their stuff. And now everybody wave goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye.